Hi everyone, I'm outside the BBC in London that obviously isn't on lockdown, while lots of decent working class people are being told that they must self-isolate, shouldn't go to work, get a loan off the government to pay their bills and then have to pay it back at a later date. While all these things are happening to decent working class people, the BBC is still up and running with non-essential services. They're not key workers. There's no reason why news reporters and weather people can't report the news and weather from at home, filming it on their laptop or mobile phone. There's no reason why any of this can't be done. There's lots of, from what I've seen on the BBC, there's lots of camera crews going out shooting on location where they could easily ask members of the public and commuters to send things in via Twitter and YouTube and things like that, but they're obviously not. None of this seems to apply to the people at the BBC. I've just walked past the chauffeur area, and there's lots of chauffeur-driven cars and taxis waiting to take well-paid presenters home from work or bring them in or whatever like that. They're all mixing together inside the BBC. If any disease is spreading there, it could get passed on to their chauffeurs and then on to their families, then on to the NHS and members of the public. I haven't made up my mind how serious this coronavirus is. I'm hearing lots of varying opinion. A lot of people have been saying that more people tend to die of flu than have died of this so far. I'm tending to believe that this is a serious situation, but again, like everything, like the climate change, all these situations that we're getting warned about, everything comes down to ordinary working class people, while people like the government, and I know the government's obviously shut down at the moment, well, Parliament anyway, but people like the BBC seem to be above it. Just behind me now, around the other side, there's a traffic warden. I don't know if you can see him walking by, but traffic wardens seem to be believed to be key workers. The police, while the police obviously are key workers, I'm not going to dispute that. I've seen lots of them walking around in groups of 3 or 4, not social distancing, not keeping 2 metres away. A police officer approached me this morning to see if I was a key worker. Fortunately, if I am, and he came within the 2 metres. I took a step back so as not to either make myself or him ill. Yesterday, a car drove past me with 4 police officers in it. Again, there may be some reason for that. It didn't have any lights on. It didn't seem to be an emergency. It seems to me that this threat isn't being taken seriously by the BBC, the police, various councils and traffic wardens and things. There's still a lot of spitting going on. It actually sickens me that we live in a country where they shut down pubs and tell people not to go to work before they start pulling people in the street for spitting. And things like putting their feet up on train seats and that, again, where people are spitting and other people, or probably the same people, are putting their feet up on trains and spreading it to key workers and things like that. I've just had a look around the side. I've had a look in through the windows, and the BBC isn't as busy as it ordinarily would be, but there are still a lot of people in there. Some are social distancing, others aren't. I'm going to put some other footage with this video when I put it online, but Tony Martin reporting from the BBC for the National Front. Again, behind me here you can see lots of chauffeur-driven cars and taxis and things like that are turning up to pick up people from the BBC.